When 8-year-old Maya Chen stood up at a fancy charity dinner and dared the world's most famous rocket builder to pick up a paintbrush, nobody expected what happened next. Elon Musk had built cars that drove themselves and rockets that touched the stars, but he claimed he couldn't even draw a stick figure. Maya knew better. Her dying mother had taught her that anyone could create art if they painted with their heart. What started as an innocent dare became something much bigger, because Maya was keeping a secret that would change everything. A secret about her family's connection to Elon that stretched back years. A secret that would transform one nervous painting session into a movement that touched thousands of lives. Some nights change everything. This was one of them. Maya Chen sat at the big round table and tried not to touch anything. The fancy plates looked like they cost more than her family's rent. The napkins were so white and perfect that she was afraid to unfold hers. Around her, kids from the Boys and Girls Club talked quietly. They all wore their best clothes, but Maya still felt like they didn't belong in this huge, sparkly room at the Four Seasons Hotel. "Just breathe," whispered her friend Carlos, who sat next to her. "My mom says rich people put their pants on one leg at a time, just like us." Maya giggled, but her stomach still felt funny. She looked around the ballroom. Hundreds of grown-ups in fancy suits talked and laughed. Crystal lights hung from the ceiling like frozen stars. Everything was so beautiful, it almost hurt to look at. "Why are we here again?" asked Zoe, a girl from Maya's art class. "Because you kids are the best young artists in Austin," said Mrs. Johnson, their Boys and Girls Club leader. "The Musk Foundation wants to celebrate you." Maya touched the small pin on her dress. It said, "Young Artist Award winner." She had won it for her painting of her mom teaching kids to draw. That felt like 1,000,000 years ago. The big doors at the front of the room opened. A man in a black jacket walked in. He looked tired and had messy hair, but everyone started clapping and taking pictures. "That's him," Carlos whispered. "That's Elon Musk." Maya had heard her mom talk about him before. Something about electric cars and rockets. But right now, he just looked like a regular person who needed a comb. Dr. Sarah Martinez walked to the front with a microphone. She was the lady who had called Maya's grandma to invite her tonight. "Welcome to our annual Children's Art Foundation Gala," Dr. Martinez said. Her voice echoed through the big room. "Tonight, we celebrate young artists and raise money for art. Programs in schools." Maya's hands felt sweaty. She wiped them on her dress, then worried she might have left marks. "This year, we have a special treat," Dr. Martinez continued. "Some of our famous guests will create artwork right here on stage. The paintings will be auctioned to raise money for art supplies." A stage at the front of the room had easels and paint set up. Maya's heart started beating faster. She loved watching people paint. "Our first artist is country music star Jake Sullivan," Dr. Martinez announced. A man in a cowboy hat walked up to the stage. The crowd clapped as he picked up a brush and started painting a guitar. Next, we have Channel 7 news anchor Patricia Williams. A woman in a red dress painted the Austin skyline. Maya thought it looked pretty good. "And finally," Dr. Martinez said, looking right at Elon Musk, "we'd love to have our guest of honor, Mr. Elon Musk, create something special for us." Elon shook his head and laughed. "I can't even draw a stick figure properly," he said into his microphone. The grown-ups laughed too. Maya felt something bubble up inside her chest. It was the same feeling she got when kids at school said they were bad at art. Her mom always said that was silly. Before she knew what was happening, Maya stood up. The whole room went quiet. Hundreds of faces turned to look at her. Maya's cheeks felt hot, but she couldn't sit back down now. My teacher says anyone can make art if they paint with their heart, Maya said. Her voice sounded small in the big room, but everyone heard her. Thi. Silence stretched on forever. Maya wanted to disappear. What had she done? Why did she stand up? Now everyone was staring at this weird kid who talked when she should have been quiet. But then Elon Musk smiled. He looked right at Maya with kind eyes. "You know what?" he said, standing up too. "You're absolutely right. I accept the challenge." The crowd burst into applause. Maya felt dizzy. Had she really just dared the famous Elon Musk to paint? As Elon walked toward the stage, Maya's heart pounded. She had changed something big tonight. She could feel it. Dr. Martinez leaned down to Maya's table. "What's your name, sweetie?" "Maya Chen," she whispered. "Well, Maya Chen, you just did something very brave." Maya watched Elon look at the blank canvas on stage. He picked up a brush, then put it down. He looked confused. That's when Maya did something even braver than standing up. She got out of her chair and walked toward the stage. "Maya, where are you going?" Mrs. Johnson called softly. But Maya didn't stop. She climbed the steps to the stage where Elon stood looking at all the paints. "Are you scared?" Maya asked him quietly. Elon looked surprised. "Yes," he said. "Are you?" "A little," Maya admitted. "But my mom says being scared means you're about to do something important." Elon knelt down so they were the same height. "Your mom sounds very smart. What else does she say about art?" Maya thought about her mom in the hospital bed, always encouraging her to keep drawing even when everything felt sad and scary. She says, "Art is how we show people what's in our hearts when words aren't enough." Elon nodded slowly. "That's beautiful. What do you think I should paint?" Maya looked at this famous man who built rockets and cars, and she saw something that reminded her of herself when she was scared to try new things. "Paint what makes you happy," she said simply. As Elon picked up the brush again, Maya whispered something to Dr. Martinez that made the woman's eyes go wide. The secret Maya had been keeping all night was about to change everything. But first, she had to help Elon find the courage to paint with his heart. "Can we talk for a minute before I start painting?" Elon asked Dr. Martinez. "Maybe backstage?" "Of course," she said, looking curious about why Maya was still on stage with him. Maya followed Elon behind the big curtain. Back there, it was quieter. She could still hear the crowd talking, but it felt safer somehow. Elon stared at the painting supplies on a small table. There were tubes of paint in every color Maya could imagine. Red, blue, yellow, green, purple, orange, and even special colors like gold and silver. "I haven't painted since I was your age," Elon said to Maya. "What if I mess up in front of all those people?" Maya tilted her head. "What happens when you mess up building rockets?" "Well," Elon said, thinking, "sometimes they explode, but then we figure out what went wrong and try again." "See?" Maya said. "Painting is easier than rockets. If you mess up, nothing explodes." Elon laughed, and Maya noticed his shoulders weren't so tight anymore. "Can I tell you a secret?" Maya asked quietly. "Sure. My mom used to be an artist before she got sick. She taught me that painting isn't about making it look perfect. It's about showing people how you feel inside." Something changed in Elon's face when Maya mentioned her mom. His eyes got softer, like when Maya's teacher talked about her own children. "What kind of sickness does your mom have?" he asked gently. Cancer, Maya said. The word always felt heavy in her mouth. She's in the hospital in Houston, but she still teaches me about art over video calls. Elon was quiet for a moment. Then, he said, my mom always encouraged me to be creative too, even when I was more interested in computers than art. What should I paint tonight? Elon asked Maya, and she could tell he really wanted to know what she thought. Maya looked at his face. She could see he was thinking about something that made him both happy and sad at the same time, just like when she thought about her mom. What makes you happy? Maya asked. Elon considered this carefully. Well, I love space and cars that don't hurt the planet. And he paused, looking at Maya. And I love when kids dream big dreams, even when grown-ups say those dreams are impossible. Then paint that, Maya said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. How do you paint dreams? Elon asked. Maya thought about all the pictures she had drawn in the hospital waiting room while her mom got treatments. You paint the feelings that dreams give you. Like when I draw rockets, I use lots of blue for the sky because that's how big dreams feel to me. Big and open and full of space to grow. Elon picked up a brush and held it like it might bite him. My hands are shaking, he said. Are you nervous? Maya asked. Terrified, Elon admitted with a small laugh. I've launched actual rockets into space, but this feels scarier. Maya giggled. My mom always said the best art comes from being a little scared. It means you care about what you're making. Your mom sounds very wise. She is. She says fear and excitement feel the same in your body. The only difference is whether you think something good or bad is going to happen. Elon looked at Maya with amazement. How old are you? 8. But my mom says I have an old soul because I've seen a lot of hard things. Dr. Martinez poked her head backstage. We're ready when you are, Elon. The crowd is getting excited. Maya could hear people talking louder now, and she heard someone say Elon's name. I believe in you, Maya whispered to Elon, just like her mom always whispered to her before art contests at school. Elon squeezed Maya's hand gently. Thank you for helping me remember something important. What's that? That the best things happen when we're brave enough to try, even when we don't know how it will turn out. As they walked back toward the stage, Maya felt something special happening. It was like when she painted her best pictures, everything felt connected and right. But there was still the secret she hadn't told anyone yet. The secret about why her mom had really wanted Maya to come to this event tonight. The secret about why Maya knew exactly what to say to help Elon feel brave. Maya looked out at the crowd from behind the curtain. In the front row, she saw her grandma Rosa wiping her eyes. Next to her was an empty chair, the chair where Maya's mom should have been sitting if she wasn't too sick to travel. That empty chair reminded Maya why tonight was so important, and why the secret she was keeping might be the most important thing of all. Elon stepped toward the easel on stage, and Maya made a decision. After he painted, she would tell everyone the truth about why this night was really happening. But first, she had to make sure Elon created something beautiful, something that would make her mom proud, even though she couldn't be here to see it. The bright stage lights felt warm on Maya's face as she walked back to her table. Elon stood alone at the easel now, looking at the blank white canvas like it held all the secrets in the world. Maya sat down next to her grandma Rosa, who had flown all the way from San Francisco just for tonight. Grandma Rosa squeezed Maya's hand and whispered in Mandarin, "Your mother would be so proud of your courage." Maya nodded, but kept her eyes on Elon. He picked up a brush and dipped it in blue paint. His first stroke across the canvas was wobbly and unsure. Then he made another stroke, this one stronger. "What's he painting?" Carlos asked, leaning forward in his chair. "I don't know yet," Maya said, "but I think it's going to be special." The crowd had gotten quieter. Even the waiters stopped, moving around with their fancy trays. Everyone wanted to see what would happen when a man who built rockets tried to make art. Elon's brush moved across the canvas again. The blue was getting deeper, richer. It looked like the sky Maya saw every morning from her hospital room window when she visited her mom. "Ladies and gentlemen," Dr. Martinez said softly into her microphone, "Elon Musk is creating what appears to be a sky scene with beautiful blue tones." But Maya could see something the grown-ups couldn't. Elon wasn't just painting a sky. He was painting a feeling. The way the blue spread across the canvas reminded Maya of how big dreams felt in her chest, endless and full of possibilities. Elon added white paint to his brush and started making shapes in the blue. They looked like clouds, but also like something else, something moving fast through the sky. "Is that a rocket trail?" whispered Zoe. Maya smiled. "Maybe." Then Elon did something that made Maya's heart jump. He picked up silver paint and started adding long, shining lines through the blue. They curved and danced like the trails rockets leave behind when they reach for space. People in the audience started leaning forward. This wasn't the awkward celebrity painting they had expected. But Elon wasn't done. In the corner of his canvas, he started painting small figures with careful, gentle strokes. Maya squinted to see better. One figure looked like a woman with long, flowing hair. Next to her was a little boy with his arms reaching up toward the sky. Maya's grandma Rosa noticed too. "He's painting people," she whispered to Maya in English. "A mother and child." Tears started forming in Maya's eyes, but she didn't know why. Something about those two figures felt important, like they meant something more than just people in a painting. Elon glanced down at Maya from the stage. When their eyes met, he smiled and gave her a small nod. Then he added something new to his painting, a third figure, a small girl holding the little boy's hand. The crowd murmured with curiosity. What was this painting really about? Tom Rodriguez, an art critic from the Austin newspaper, leaned over to his friend. "I've never seen anything like this," he whispered. "He has no formal training, but there's something raw and powerful about what he's creating." Maya watched Elon's face as he painted. His worry lines had disappeared. He looked peaceful now, like Maya felt when she was drawing her best pictures, like the whole world had shrunk down to just him and his canvas, and the colors that were bringing his feelings to life. "Maya," her grandma Rosa said quietly, "there's something I need to tell you." But before Maya could ask what, Elon did something that made the whole audience gasp. He picked up a tube of gold paint and started adding thin, glowing lines that connected all the figures in his painting. The lines looked like golden threads, like the kind that hold balloons or kites. But Maya thought they looked more like love, the invisible strings that connect people's hearts, even when they're far apart. "What are those golden lines?" Maya asked her grandma. Rosa Chen's eyes filled with tears. "I think they're the connections between people who care about each other. The bonds that can't be broken, even by distance or time." Maya stared at the painting. The woman with flowing hair was reaching toward the silver rocket trails. The little boy was holding the girl's hand and pointing at the sky. And the golden threads wrapped around all of them like a warm hug. 15 more minutes, Dr. Martinez announced gently. Elon stepped back from his canvas and looked at his work. Then he looked at Maya again, and something passed between them. An understanding, a shared secret about what art could do when it came from the heart. Maya's phone buzzed in her small purse, a text from the hospital. Her mom was awake and asking about the event. Maya typed back quickly. "Something amazing is happening. I can't wait to tell you." But as she watched Elon add final details to his painting with careful, loving strokes, Maya realized she wasn't the only one with a secret tonight. The way Elon painted that woman reaching for the stars, the tenderness in every brushstroke. It felt like he was painting someone specific, someone important, someone who maybe couldn't be here to see it. Maya looked at the empty chair next to her grandma and understood something new. Tonight wasn't just about art or charity or famous people painting. Tonight was about all the people who were missing from the chairs where they should be sitting. And somehow, Elon's painting was bringing them all together anyway. 20 minutes into the painting session, something magical started happening. Elon stopped looking at the crowd and focused completely on his canvas. His brushstrokes became smooth and flowing, like he had been painting his whole life. Maya watched as he picked up a small brush and dipped it in gold paint. He added tiny touches that made the silver rocket trails sparkle. She recognized what he was doing because her mom had taught her the same thing, using warm colors to show love and hope. "He's not painting like a beginner anymore," whispered Mrs. Johnson from behind Maya. "It's like the canvas is teaching him what to do." In the audience, people were starting to understand they were seeing something special. Janet Williams, a I-81 kindergarten teacher from Maya's school, wiped tears from her eyes. "He's painting his childhood," she whispered to her husband. "Look at that little boy reaching for the sky." Dr. Martinez had planned to give each celebrity exactly 30 minutes to paint. But as she watched Elon work, she couldn't bring herself to call time. The other celebrities had finished their artwork already. Nice, safe paintings that would sell well at the auction. A guitar, a cityscape, a bowl of fruit. But Elon's painting was different. It had soul. Maya's grandma Rosa leaned close to her ear. "Your mother would be so proud of what you did tonight," she said softly. "She always said art is a bridge between hearts." Maya nodded, but something else caught her attention. Elon kept glancing at a specific spot in the audience, the empty chair next to her grandma, the chair where her mom should have been sitting. "Grandma," Maya whispered. "Why does Mr. Musk keep looking at Mom's empty chair?" Rosa's face changed. She looked surprised, then thoughtful. "Maya, I think there's something about tonight that even you don't know yet." Before Maya could ask what she meant, Elon's phone buzzed on the small table next to his easel. The screen lit up with a text message. Maya could see it from her seat. It was from someone named Grimes, and there was a photo attached. Elon glanced at the phone, and his expression softened in a way Maya had never seen before. He looked at the photo for a long moment, then picked up his brush again. With careful, loving strokes, he added something new to his painting. In the corner where the golden threads were thickest, he painted a tiny heart, then another, and another. Soon, small hearts were floating among the stars, like wishes sent up to heaven. The audience was completely quiet now. Even the kitchen staff had stopped what they were doing to watch. Everyone could feel that something important was happening on that stage. 5 more minutes, Dr. Martinez announced gently, her voice soft with emotion. Elon stepped back from his canvas and really looked at what he had created. The painting showed a night sky filled with silver rocket trails and golden stars. Centaur, the foreground, three figures reached toward the heavens: a woman with flowing hair, a young boy full of wonder, and a little girl holding his hand. Golden threads connected them all, and tiny hearts danced among the stars like dreams taking flight. Maya felt tears running down her cheeks, but she wasn't sad. The painting felt like a hug, like hope, like all the bedtime stories her mom used to tell her about reaching for impossible dreams. Carlos nudged her gently. "Maya, why are you crying?" "Because it's beautiful," she said, "and because it reminds me of my family." Elon put down his brush and looked directly at Maya. His eyes were shiny with tears, too. Whatever he had painted, it meant something deep to him. "Time," Dr. Martinez called softly. But instead of walking away from the easel, Elon did something unexpected. He motioned for Maya to come up on stage. Maya looked at her grandma Rosa, who nodded. Maya walked carefully up the steps, her heart beating fast. "Thank you," Elon said to her quietly. "You helped me remember something I had forgotten." "What's that?" Maya asked. "That the best art doesn't come from your hands. It comes from your heart." Maya looked at his painting up close now. Every brush stroke told a story. The woman reaching for the stars looked strong and brave. The little boy looked full of dreams. The girl looked like she was protecting something precious. "Who are they?" Maya asked, pointing to the figures. Elon was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "They're everyone who has ever loved someone so much that they would reach across time and space to keep them safe." Maya understood. The painting wasn't just about rockets and dreams. It was about love that never ends, even when people can't be together. As the crowd began to applaud, Maya realized that tonight had changed something important. Not just for her, but for Elon too. They had both painted with their hearts. Hers with words, his with colors. But there was still her secret. The reason her mom had insisted she come tonight, even though she was too sick to come herself. The connection that would explain why Maya had known exactly what to say to help Elon find his courage. Soon, Maya thought, everyone would understand why this night was always meant to happen. As Elon put down his brush, the whole room burst into applause. People stood up, clapping and cheering like they had just watched the best movie ever made. But Maya noticed something strange. Elon didn't look happy. He looked sad. Maya stayed close to him on the stage. "Mr. Musk, why do you look worried? Everyone loves your painting." "Because now it has to be sold," Elon said quietly. "And I painted this for someone special, someone who can't be here tonight." Maya's heart jumped. "Who?" Before Elon could answer, Maya saw her chance. She had kept her secret long enough. It was time to tell everyone the truth about why tonight was so important. "Mr. Musk," Maya said, "can I tell you something?" "Of course." Maya took a deep breath. "My mom isn't just sick. She's in the hospital in Houston right now, getting treatment for cancer. But that's not the whole story." Elon knelt down so they were eye to eye. "What's the rest of the story?" "My mom used to work for a company that makes electric cars. She was one of the people who helped design the inside of the first Tesla cars." The color drained from Elon's face. "What's your mom's name?" "Lin Chen," Maya said softly. Elon's mouth fell open. He stared at Maya like he was seeing a ghost. "Lin Chen, the interior designer who created the dashboard layout we still use today?" Maya nodded. "She has pictures of you in her hospital room. She told me that if I ever met you, I should tell you that anyone can make art if they paint with their heart." Those were her words, not mine. The audience couldn't hear this conversation, but Dr. Martinez noticed that something important was happening on stage. She walked up with her microphone. "Is everything okay?" she asked. Maya looked out at all the people waiting to hear what would happen next. Her grandma Rosa was crying now, and Maya finally understood why. "Dr. Martinez," Maya said, her voice stronger now, "can I tell everyone something important?" Dr. Martinez looked confused but handed Maya the microphone. Maya's hands shook as she held it. The microphone felt heavy, and her voice sounded funny when she spoke. "My mom, Lin Chen, used to work with Mr. Musk. She helped make Tesla cars beautiful on the inside. 3 years ago, she got sick and had to stop working. But she never stopped believing in dreams." The audience was completely silent. Even the servers stopped moving. "When my mom found out I won the art contest and got invited here tonight, she cried happy tears. She said this was meant to happen. She said Mr. Musk needed to remember something important about why he does what he does." Maya looked at Elon, who had tears running down his cheeks. "My mom is watching tonight on video from her hospital bed. She wanted me to tell Mr. Musk thank you for teaching her that work can be art and art can change the world." Maya pulled out her tablet and showed it to Elon. On the screen was a hospital room where a thin woman with kind eyes waved at the camera. "Hi, Elon," Lin Chen said, her voice weak but clear. "Thank you for painting tonight, and thank you for believing in impossible dreams." Elon took the tablet with shaking hands. "Lin, I remember you. You made our cars feel like homes, not just machines." Maya gets her courage from watching people like you chase dreams that seem impossible, Lin said from the screen. "Tonight, she helped you remember that art and engineering both come from the same place, the heart." The whole ballroom was crying now. Dr. Martinez wiped her eyes. Even the tough-looking security guards were sniffling. "Lin," Elon said into the tablet, "your daughter taught me more about leadership tonight than I've learned in 20 years of business." "She gets that from her father," Lin said with a smile. "But she gets her bravery from watching you prove that crazy dreams can come true." Maya took the microphone again. "My mom said tonight would be special. She said Mr. Musk would need to paint something important, and I would know how to help him." "How did she know?" Dr. Martinez asked. Maya looked at her grandma Rosa, who nodded. Encouragingly, "Because my mom has been following Mr. Musk's work for years. She knows he helps people when they need it most. And right now, kids in hospitals need art programs, kids like the ones I met when I visit my mom." The audience started connecting the dots. This wasn't just a coincidence. This was a little girl and her sick mother trying to make something good happen for other children. "Mom always says that when you can't change your own sad story, you should try to make someone else's story happier," Maya continued. Elon stood up and faced the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen, Maya and her mother just taught me the most important lesson about why we're really here tonight." The room waited to hear what he would say next. Maya held her breath, wondering if her plan had worked. Elon took the microphone from Maya. His voice was steady, but Maya could see his hands were still shaking. "What Maya and her mother just shared with us is why I do what I do," he said to the crowd. "Lin Chen didn't just design car interiors. She taught me that every detail matters when you're trying to make people's lives better." The audience listened carefully. Maya noticed that even the kids from her table were sitting up straight, paying attention. "So let's auction this painting," Elon continued, "and let's see how much we can raise for art programs in children's hospitals." Dr. Martinez stepped forward with her auction paddle. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start the bidding for Elon Musk's original artwork at $1,000. Before she could even finish speaking, a voice called out from the back of the room, $50,000! Maya spun around to see who had made such a huge bid. It was a man in an expensive suit she didn't recognize. 50,000? Dr. Martinez stammered. Going once? 100,000! Shouted another voice. This time it was a woman near the front who looked like she owned an art gallery. Maya's jaw dropped. $100,000 was more money than she could even imagine. But the bidding didn't stop there. 200,000, called a man Maya recognized from TV. Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team. 300,000, countered someone else. 500,000, Mark Cuban called again. Maya felt dizzy. $500,000? Her teacher made $40,000 a year. This was more than 10 times that amount. The bidding kept going. 700,000, 800,000, 900,000. Maya looked at Elon, expecting him to be happy. Instead, he looked more worried than ever. "Why do you look sad?" Maya whispered to him. "Because I painted this for someone specific," Elon said quietly. "I painted it for your mother and all the parents who are fighting so their children can keep dreaming. Now it's going to go to whoever has the most money." Maya felt her heart sink. This wasn't what she had wanted to happen. The painting was supposed to help kids, not just make rich people feel good about spending money. $1 million. Mark Cuban shouted. The crowd gasped. $1 million for a painting made by someone who had never painted before tonight. Dr. Martinez looked stunned. $1 million? Going once? Going twice? Maya couldn't let this happen. Not like this. She grabbed the microphone from Dr. Martinez. "Wait," Maya said, her voice echoing through the room. Everyone stopped and looked at her. Maya's heart was beating so fast she thought it might jump out of her chest. "Mr. Musk painted this with his heart," Maya said, her voice getting stronger with each word. "My mom taught me that art isn't about money. It's about love. Maybe we should ask Mr. Musk who he wants to have his painting." The room fell completely, silent. This wasn't part of the planned program, but no one wanted to interrupt this brave little girl. Dr. Martinez looked at Elon. "Maya makes a good point. Who did you paint this for?" Elon took the microphone back. He looked out at the crowd, then at Maya, then at the tablet where her mother was still watching from her hospital bed. "I painted this for every child who dreams of touching the stars," he said softly. "And for every parent who believes in those dreams, even when they can't be there to see them come true." He paused and looked directly at Maya. "I painted this for your mother, Maya, and for all the mothers and fathers who are fighting battles so their children can keep dreaming." Maya felt tears running down her cheeks. But they weren't sad tears. They were tears of understanding. "Mr. Cuban," Elon continued, "your offer is incredibly generous. But Maya just taught me something about the true value of art." Mark Cuban stepped forward. "What's that?" "That the most expensive painting in the world is worthless if it doesn't touch people's hearts," Mark Cuban smiled. "Then I have a different idea. I'll pay $1 million, but only if the painting goes to Maya and her family." The crowd erupted in applause, but Maya shook her head. "That's too much money," she said into the microphone. "We can't take that." "Then what do you think we should do?" Elon asked her. Maya looked out at all the people in fancy clothes who had come to help kids tonight. She thought about her mom in the hospital. She thought about all the other kids she had met in waiting rooms who were scared and alone. Then she had an idea that surprised even her. "What if we don't sell the painting?" Maya said. "What if we do something else with it?" The audience waited to hear what this 8-year-old girl would suggest. "What if we make copies, like prints, and sell those to help sick kids and their families? The real painting could stay somewhere where lots of people can see it and feel hopeful." Elon's eyes went wide. This little girl had just come up with a better business plan than most adults he knew. "Maya," he said, "that's brilliant." Mark Cuban started clapping. "I'll fund the printing operation. We can make thousands of copies." But Maya held up her small hand. She wasn't finished yet. "There's one more thing," she said. Maya looked out at the crowd of grown-ups waiting to hear what she would say next. Her grandma Rosa was crying happy tears. Dr. Martinez looked amazed. Even the waiters had stopped working to listen. "My mom always said the best gifts are the ones that keep giving," Maya said into the microphone. "What if Mr. Musk's painting could help lots of kids, not just make money for one person?" The audience nodded, understanding where Maya was going with her idea. "I've been to the hospital with my mom many times. There are kids there who have been sick for months. Some of them have never held a paintbrush because they're too weak or too scared." Maya's voice got stronger as she thought about all the children she had met in waiting rooms. "What if this painting could start art programs in hospitals? Not just one hospital, but lots of them?" Elon stepped closer to Maya. "Tell us more about your idea." "Well," Maya said, thinking carefully, "my mom used to teach art classes at my school for free. She said art helps kids feel brave when they're scared. What if we could bring art teachers to hospitals?" Mark Cuban raised his hand like he was in school. "Maya, that's exactly what we should do. Instead of one painting going to one person, we create something that helps thousands of kids." But Maya wasn't finished with her idea yet. "There's something else," she continued. "Something my grandma told me tonight that I didn't understand before." Rosa Chen stood up in the audience. Her voice was shaky but clear. Maya's mother, Lynn, wasn't just any art teacher. Before she got sick, she volunteered at Dell Children's Medical Center here in Austin. The audience listened carefully. Every week, Lynn would go to the children's cancer ward and teach art classes. She brought supplies with her own money. She painted murals on the walls to make the rooms less scary. Maya nodded. "My mom said art heals hearts when medicine heals bodies." "But that's not all," Rosa continued. "Lynn used to work for a company that makes electric cars. She was one of the designers who helped create the Tesla Model S." People in the audience started whispering. Some of them were putting the pieces together. "My mom has pictures of you in her hospital room, Mr. Musk," Maya said. "She told me that if I ever met you, I should remember that you taught her something important." "What did I teach her?" Elon asked gently. "That work can be art if you do it with love, and that art can change the world if you share it with others." The room was completely quiet, except for the sound of people crying. Maya looked at the tablet, where her mom was still watching. "Mom, can you tell everyone what you told me before I came tonight?" Lynn's weak voice came through the tablet speaker. "I told Maya that there are children in hospitals all over the country who never get to make art. Kids who are too sick to go to school. Kids who feel forgotten." Maya took over. "My mom said that if we could bring art to those kids, we could remind them that they're not just patients. They're artists and dreamers too." Dr. Martinez stepped forward. "Maya, are you suggesting we use the money from tonight to create art programs in children's hospitals?" "Not just the money," Maya said. "Mr. Musk's painting too. We could put it in the first hospital art room, and then every kid who sees it will know that someone famous believes they can create beautiful things. Even when they're sick, Elon looked amazed. Maya, you just described something bigger than I ever imagined when I picked up that paintbrush. Marky, Cuban stepped onto the stage. Maya, what if we didn't stop at 1 or 2 hospitals? What if we created art programs in every children's hospital in Texas? Maya's eyes went wide. Every hospital? Every single one, Mark said. I'll put in $10 million to start. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. But Maya held up her hand again. She still had something important to say. Mr. Cuban, that's really nice. But there's one more thing we need. What's that? Mark asked. We need teachers. Not just any teachers. We need people who understand that art isn't about making perfect pictures. It's about helping kids feel brave and hopeful. Maya looked at her mom on the tablet screen. Mom, would you help us train the teachers when you get better? Lynn started crying happy tears. Maya, that's the most beautiful gift anyone has ever given me. Of course I'll help. Elon knelt down next to Maya. Do you realize what you just did? What? Maya asked. You took my painting and turned it into something that will help thousands of children. You took one night and changed it into years of hope for families like yours. Maya thought about this. My mom always says that one person can't change the whole world, but one person can change someone's world. And if enough people do that, maybe the whole world gets a little better. Dr. Martinez wiped her eyes. Maya, I think you just taught all of us the real meaning of tonight's event. The audience stood up and applauded. But this time, they weren't just clapping for a painting or a charity auction. They were clapping for an 8-year-old girl who had reminded them why helping others matters. Maya felt proud, but also tired. It had been a long night, and she had done something that scared her more than anything she had ever done before. But as she looked at Elon's painting still glowing on its easel, and at her mom smiling from the hospital bed on the tablet screen, Maya knew tonight had been exactly what it was supposed to be. Her mom had been right. Sometimes the most important things happen when you least expect them. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is simply tell the truth about what matters most. Maya looked out at the crowd one more time. Everyone was smiling and clapping, but she could tell they were waiting for something else. The same feeling she got when she was reading a really good book and knew the biggest surprise was still coming. There's one more secret I need to tell everyone, Maya said into the microphone. The room got quiet again, even quieter than before, if that was possible. Maya's grandma Rosa nodded at her encouragingly. Tell them, sweetheart. Tell them the whole truth. Maya took a deep breath. Mr. Musk, my mom didn't just work for Tesla a long time ago. She worked there when you used to walk through the design studio every day. Elon's eyebrows went up. Really? She has a picture on her hospital nightstand. It's you and her and the whole design team celebrating when the first Model S came off the production line. Maya could see Elon trying to remember. That was 12 years ago. Mom said, you used to stop at everyone's desk and ask them what they were working on. Not because you were checking up on them, but because you really wanted to know. Rosa stood up again. Lynn always talked about the young CEO who understood that car design was art, not just engineering. Maya nodded. She said you taught her that when you're building something new, every single person's ideas matter. Even the person designing cup holders. Elon's eyes started to fill with tears. I remember Lynn now. She designed the dashboard layout that made drivers feel like they were piloting a spaceship instead of just driving a car. That's her, Maya said proudly. But that's not the secret. The audience leaned forward. What could be bigger than what they had already learned? 3 years ago, when Mom got diagnosed with cancer, She had to stop working. The treatments made her too tired, and her hands shook sometimes from the medicine. Maya's voice got softer, but everyone could still hear her clearly. She was really sad because she couldn't help make beautiful things anymore. She thought her art days were over. But they weren't, Rosa added gently. No, Maya continued, because Mom started volunteering at the children's hospital. She taught art classes for kids who were getting treatment, just like her. Maya looked at the tablet where her mom was watching. Mom, can you show everyone the pictures? Lynn held up a folder full of photographs. Even through the small tablet screen, people could see colorful paintings and drawings made by children. These are artworks made by kids in the cancer ward, Lynn said weakly. Children between the ages of 4 and 16. Some of them had never held a paintbrush before they got sick. Maya took over the story. Mom discovered something amazing. Kids who did art during their treatments got better faster. They smiled more. They were less scared of the machines and needles. The doctors started noticing too, Rosa added. They asked Lynn to create a formal program. Maya's voice got excited now. Mom wrote a whole plan for bringing art therapy to children's hospitals. She researched other hospitals around the country. She figured out how much it would cost and what supplies were needed. Elon was listening intently. What happened to her plan? Maya's face fell a little. When Mom got sicker last year, she had to put the plan away. She didn't have the energy to make phone calls or write proposals anymore. But she never stopped believing it was a good idea, Rosa said. Maya nodded. 2 weeks ago, when Mom found out I had won the art contest and got invited to this event, she started crying. Why? Dr. Martinez asked gently. Because she knew you would be here, Mr. Musk. She said this was her chance to give you her plan. Maya reached into her small purse and pulled out a folded envelope. Mom wrote you a letter. She's been working on it from her hospital bed for 2 weeks, whenever she felt strong enough to hold a pen. Elon took the envelope with shaking hands. May I read it now? Maya nodded. Elon opened the letter carefully. As he read silently, his expression changed from curiosity to amazement to something that looked like wonder. Lynn wrote a complete business plan for children's hospital art programs. He said finally, revenue projections, supply lists, teacher training protocols, everything. He looked at the tablet screen. Lynn, this is incredible. You've thought of everything. Lynn smiled weakly. I had a lot of time to think in the hospital, and Maya helped me research on her laptop after school. Maya blushed. I didn't do much. I just looked up stuff online. You did more than that, her mom said. You gave me hope that someday someone would listen to our idea. Elon looked at Maya with new understanding. So when you told me tonight that anyone can make art if they paint with their heart, those were Mom's exact words from her letter. Maya finished. She practiced what I should say if I got the chance to meet you. The audience was completely silent, absorbing this revelation. Maya, Elon said slowly, did you plan this whole evening? Maya shook her head quickly. No, I was just supposed to eat dinner and be polite. But when you said you couldn't paint, I remembered what Mom told me to say if you ever seemed scared to try something new. Which was? That being scared means you're about to do something important. And that art comes from the heart, not the hands. Mark Cuban stepped forward again. So Lynn's plan, Maya's courage, and Elon's painting all came together tonight? It wasn't planned, Rosa said, but it was meant to happen. Maya looked at Elon's beautiful painting, then at her mom on the tablet screen, then at all the people. who had decided to help make her mom's dream come true. Mom always says that sometimes the universe conspires to help you when you're trying to do something good for others. Elon folded Lynn's letter carefully and put it in his jacket pocket. "Maya, your mother is right, and you just proved it." As the crowd began to understand the full story, how a sick mother's dream had been carried by her brave daughter to exactly the right person at exactly the right moment, they realized they had witnessed something much bigger than a charity auction. They had seen how love and hope could travel across time and space to change the world. The video call with Lynn had changed everything. What started as a fancy charity dinner had become something much more personal and important. Maya could feel it in the way everyone was looking at each other, like they were all part of the same family now. "Lynn," Elon said into the tablet, his voice gentle and respectful, "I want to bring this painting to you personally. Maya's idea about hospital art programs. We're going to start it at MD Anderson Cancer Center, in your honor." Through the tablet screen, Lynn's eyes filled with happy tears. "That's not necessary, Elon. Seeing Maya be brave tonight is more than enough for me." "No," Elon said firmly but kindly. "Maya taught me tonight that art is about connecting hearts across distances. Your daughter just taught me more about real leadership than any business book ever could." Mark Cuban stepped forward so Lynn could see him on the tablet. "Lynn, I'm Mark Cuban. I own the Dallas Mavericks and several companies. I want to fund Maya's idea completely, but I also want to do something else." "What's that?" Lynn asked quietly. "My foundation will cover all of your medical expenses. Every single bill. No family should have to choose between getting better and following their dreams." Lynn started crying harder, but Maya could tell these were good tears. "I don't know what to say. That's too generous." "It's not generous," Mark said. "It's smart business. You created a plan that's going to help thousands of kids. The least we can do is make sure you're healthy enough to see it happen." Maya took the tablet from Elon so she could talk to her mom privately for a second. "Mom, are you okay? You look tired." "I'm perfect, baby," Lynn whispered. "You did something tonight that I could never have done myself. You found the courage to speak up when it mattered most." "I learned from the best teacher," Maya said, smiling at her mom. Dr. Martinez stepped up to address the crowd. "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, tonight was supposed to be about raising money for children's education programs. Instead, we've learned something even more valuable." The audience listened carefully. "We've seen that the best education comes from watching. Real courage in action. Maya Chen has taught us all what it means to put others before yourself." Everyone started clapping again, but Maya held up her hand. She wasn't quite done yet. "Dr. Martinez, can I ask everyone a favor?" "Of course, Maya." Maya looked out at all the grown-ups in their fancy clothes who had amazing jobs and lots of money. "My mom is going to get better. The doctors say her treatments are working really well. But there are other moms and dads in the hospital who are still really scared." "What would you like us to do?" Dr. Martinez asked. "Could some of you visit the hospital art programs when we start them? Not to give money, but just to paint with the kids? Some of them haven't seen their parents smile in a really long time." The room was completely quiet as people thought about what Maya was asking. "My mom says that when famous people spend time with regular people, it reminds everyone that we're all just humans trying to do our best." A woman in the audience raised her hand. "Maya, I'm Janet Rodriguez. I run a tech company here in Austin. I would love to volunteer in the art programs." "Me too," said a man in a cowboy hat. "I'm not famous, but I know how to finger paint." Soon, dozens of people were raising their hands, volunteering to help with the hospital programs. Maya felt overwhelmed by how many people wanted to help. This is more than I ever imagined. Elon sat down next to Maya on the stage steps, so they were at the same level. Maya, do you understand what you created tonight? I think so. We're going to help sick kids. Make art. It's bigger than that, Elon said. You took one painting and turned it into a movement. You took one hospital and made it into a network across the entire state. You took one scared little girl and helped her become the leader her mom always knew she could be. Maya looked at her grandma Rosa, who was crying happy tears in the front row. Grandma, are you proud of Mom? Rosa walked up onto the stage and hugged Maya tightly. I'm proud of both of you. Your mother raised a daughter who understands that the most important things in life can't be bought with money. What are the most important things? Maya asked, even though she thought she knew the answer. Love, hope, courage, and kindness, Rosa said. Everything else is just decoration. As the evening started winding down, people began coming up to Maya to thank her and ask how they could help with the hospital programs. Maya tried to remember everyone's names, but there were so many. The other celebrities quietly auctioned off their paintings, which raised another $200,000 for the original education programs. But everyone knew the real story was the connection between a tech billionaire, a brave little girl, and a sick mother who refused to give up on her dreams. Elon spent time talking with every person who had volunteered to help. He exchanged phone numbers and email addresses, making sure everyone knew this wasn't just a nice idea. It was going to actually happen. Maya, he said, as the crowd began to thin out, what you did tonight was harder than launching a rocket to Mars. Really? Maya asked, surprised. Really? You helped me remember why I started building rockets in the first place. Why's that? 2. Make the future better for kids like you. Kids who aren't afraid to dream big and speak up when something matters. Maya thought about this. My mom always said that grown-ups sometimes forget how to dream because they get too worried about failing. Your mother is very wise, Elon said. And so are you. As the last guests began to leave the hotel ballroom, Maya noticed something magical. Elon's painting, still sitting on its easel under the bright lights, seemed to glow. The golden threads connecting the figures looked like they were actually moving, reaching out to connect with everyone who had been in the room tonight. Mr. Musk, Maya said, your painting really is magic. Elon looked at his artwork and saw what Maya meant. The painting had somehow captured the feeling of the entire evening, the connections between people, the hope that travels across distance, the love that makes impossible things possible. You know what, Maya? I think you're absolutely right. But the magic isn't in the painting itself. Where is it then? It's in the people who helped create it. It's in the hearts that got connected tonight. It's in the dreams that are going to come true because one brave little girl decided to speak up. Maya smiled as she looked around the room one more time. Tomorrow she would go back to being a regular 8-year-old who had to do homework and clean her room. But tonight, she had helped change the world. And the best part was, this was just the beginning. 6 months later, Maya stood in the brand new art studio at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston. The walls were covered with paintings created by young patients, rockets reaching for distant stars, rainbows appearing after terrible storms, and families holding hands across impossible distances. Above the main workspace hung Elon's painting, now professionally framed with special lights that made the golden threads seem to dance. A small plaque underneath read, "Donated by Elon Musk and inspired by Maya Chen, in memory of all the dreams that connect us across time and space. Maya's mom, Lin Chen, looked healthier and stronger than she had in 2 years. Her hair was growing, back in soft curls, and her smile was brighter than Maya remembered. She was helping a 7-year-old boy named Marcus paint his very first masterpiece. "Mrs. Chen," Marcus said, looking worried about his painting, "my rocket doesn't look like anything real." "That's perfectly okay," Lin said gently, using the same words she had once taught Maya. "Art isn't about making it look perfect. It's about showing people how you feel inside." Marcus nodded seriously and added more blue to his painting. "I feel like flying today." "Then paint that feeling," Lin encouraged him. Maya, now 9 years old, had become somewhat famous after the charity event. She had been invited to speak at schools across Texas about courage and following your dreams. But today, she was just a regular kid helping other kids discover the magic of paintbrushes and imagination. The studio was always busy. Children with bald heads from chemotherapy sat next to kids with casts on their arms. Some were in wheelchairs, others used walkers. But when they were painting, none of that seemed to matter. They were all just artists creating beautiful things. Elon arrived for his monthly visit to the art studio. It had become a tradition he never missed, even when SpaceX had important launches scheduled. He usually brought engineers from Tesla or SpaceX who volunteered to help kids with science-themed art projects. "Mr. Musk," Marcus called out excitedly, "look at my rocket! It's going to Mars!" Elon examined the boy's painting with complete seriousness. "That's an excellent design. Have you considered making the flame trails more aerodynamic for better fuel efficiency?" Marcus giggled. "I don't know what that means, but it sounds really cool." "It means your rocket is going to fly beautifully," Elon explained, helping Marcus add some silver streaks to his flames. As Elon moved through the studio helping kids with their projects, Maya approached him with a new painting she had been working on for weeks. "What do you think?" she asked, showing him a canvas filled with children of different colors and ages, all reaching toward a sky full of twinkling stars. "I think it's absolutely perfect," Elon said, studying every detail. "What are you going to call it?" "The future," Maya said simply. "Because that's what we're all painting, isn't it? The future we want to see?" Elon looked around the studio. Kids who were fighting serious illnesses were creating beautiful art. Parents who had been learning to hope again were laughing with their children. Volunteers from the community were discovering that helping others made them feel happier too. Nanaryu. Know what, Maya? You're absolutely right. We are all painting the future, one brush stroke at a time. Lin joined them, wiping rainbow-colored paint from her hands. "How is the national program coming along?" "It's incredible," Elon reported with excitement. "We now have art programs in 47 children's hospitals across the country. Mark's foundation has raised over $50 million. The volunteer network has over 2,000 people. And it all started because your daughter had the courage to speak up when it mattered," Lin said proudly. Maya blushed. "I was just scared you were going to paint something terrible that night." Everyone laughed, remembering that nervous moment 6 months ago. "Well," Elon said with a grin, "I guess we'll never know how terrible it might have been, because you taught me the most important lesson about art and life." "What's that?" Maya asked, even though she had heard this conversation many times before. "That the best art and the best dreams come from connecting heart to heart. Everything else is just technique." A new patient arrived at the studio. She was about Maya's age, with big scared eyes and a hospital bracelet around her thin wrist. Maya remembered feeling exactly the same way during her first visit to a hospital art room. "Hi," Maya said gently. "I'm Maya. Do you want to paint something?" The girl nodded shyly. "I've never painted before. What if I'm bad at it?" Maya smiled and handed her a brush. "My mom taught me that there's no such thing as bad art. There's only art that comes from your heart, and art that doesn't." "What should I paint?" the girl asked. "What makes you happy?" Maya suggested, remembering the same question she had asked Elon that night. The girl thought for a moment. "My dog, Buster. He's waiting for me at home." "Then paint Buster," Maya said. "And when you're done, we can make a copy to send to him so he knows you're thinking about him." As Maya helped the new girl get started with her painting, she felt the same warm feeling she had experienced that night at the charity event. The feeling that came from helping someone else feel brave. The afternoon sun streamed through the studio windows, casting rainbow colors across the walls covered in children's artwork. Maya realized something important as she looked around the room. The cliffhanger that had kept everyone guessing that night at the charity gala wasn't really about what Elon would paint, or even about her family's connection to him. The real mystery had been what would happen when one brave little girl decided to speak up and remind a room full of adults about the power of dreaming together. The answer was all around her now, in every child's painting, in every volunteer's smile, in every family discovering that hope could grow even in the hardest places. Maya's mom joined her as they watched the new girl carefully paint her first picture of Buster the dog. "Are you proud of what we started?" Lynn asked quietly. Maya nodded. "But mostly, I'm excited about what comes next." "What do you think comes next?" Maya looked at all the young artists working on their masterpieces. At Elon, helping a boy design a rocket that could travel to Jupiter. At volunteers from the community who had become like family to the children they helped. "I think this is just the beginning," Maya said. "I think we're going to keep painting the future until it looks exactly like we dreamed it would." And as the golden afternoon light made Elon's painting seem to glow with life, Maya knew that some stories don't really end. They just keep growing, one brave heart at a time, one beautiful dream at a time, one act of courage at a time. The canvas of tomorrow was still being painted, and Maya couldn't wait to see what colors it would hold. We'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment below and tell us your city or country. It's amazing to connect with listeners from around the world who believe in the power of kindness and dreams. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for many more inspiring stories, like this one. We share tales of real courage, unexpected friendships, and ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Most importantly, share this video with your friends and family. Stories like Maya's remind us that we all have the power to speak up for what matters, help others find their courage, and paint a brighter future together. Let's spread kindness and awareness, one story at a time. Thank you for listening, and remember, you're never too young or too small to change the world.